There's no 8-second funny at the beginning of this video because, I mean, the plane is the funny. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, this time in the Yak-28 based. This thing is a bomber slash interceptor slash whatever the Soviet Union decided they wanted it to be. The thing is, it has two massive MiG-21 engines strapped to it, so I thought it would be a pretty funny idea to try and take it out as a fighter. Now, as some of you may have noticed, if you look at the top left, or if you've seen or played this plane at all, it only has 50 rounds of cannon ammo, so don't really expect it to be a carry fighter, but oh my god, the acceleration and just sheer engine power this thing has. It's like flying a drag strip car, but like in plane form, obviously. Now, just because you're not a dogfighting monster doesn't mean you can't be effective for your team. I guess, one, technically you are a bomber, so you can bleed tickets that way, but also you have 64 countermeasures. They deploy in pairs, which cuts it in half, but generally, you can just kind of soak up all of the utility in terms of missiles that the enemy team has. Anything from AIM-9Gs, AIM-9Ls, all of the OP missiles that your flareless teammates don't want to get hit by, you can just kind of fly through the enemy team and soak those right up. Also, you have way more energy than basically everything. Sure, you're not going to be pulling AOA out of nowhere, but I mean, come on, two MiG-21 engines. How can you not have fun with that? It's really good if you play it in a squad, as you can efficiently bait for your teammates, just pulling people further and further up, as the higher you get, the bigger the disparity in your performance becomes. You're just going to be vastly outproducing people in terms of thrust, except for maybe like an F-104. Take, for example, I'm just running loops on, I mean, obviously an AV-8, that thing isn't going to keep up with me at all, but the Ariete, that thing is like the nastiest dogfighter energy pull 16G turns you can face. It is literally the scariest thing you can fight at this tier, aside from, I guess, the missile spam, but that isn't piloted by the most proficient players usually. But I'm just pulling away from this Ariete, even though he has, you know, the much better thrust to weight ratio. The higher we climb, the more I'm going to be able to extend away from him. He's still taking shots at me as his guns have insane muzzle velocity, but I have just enough time to react and pull out of them, and he actually manages to break off because he gets bored with, I don't know, chasing the guy that's still going Mach 0.8 at 8,000 meters altitude. The only thing that really lets it down is the cannon, which is the NR-23. Now, if you don't know it by name, this is the same gun that's on the A5C, but it has an even lower fire rate. It's going to let you down a lot. You're going to see later on in these videos, with any other gun I would get a kill, but with the NR-23, it is the true water pistol gun. Defen likes to call the GSH-23 a water pistol. No, this is the water pistol. It has awful muzzle velocity, and the damage just feels like you could do more damage physically walking up to their plane and punching it with your own fists. Just gotta open up the canopy and hope you don't suffer any bad experiences from being exposed to Mach 1 open air. The Ariete has mostly forgotten about me by now, and I'm gonna try and go for a gunshot, but watch this turn. That has got to be like a sustained 11G turn. There is no way I follow that. It's just, how is that thing 9.3? I mean, I get compression, but like, literally nothing in a down tier can touch it. But also, I guess, like, kinda, it dies to literally anything that has good missiles, so in Gaijin's eyes, I guess that's balanced? I don't know. I see this Harrier below me, though, and he's extremely slow. This is finally my opportunity to go in for a gunshot on somebody that I'm actually likely to get a kill on. When you get people really slow, this is a perfect opportunity for the Yak-28, as you're able to just stand on your engines if you need to catch up with them, and then you can just cut to 0% throttle and sit behind them. It actually turns surprisingly well for a bomber, and I'm actually able to get my nose around in time to catch him once he reverses his turn. It does get a CCIP, which I guess you can drop bombs if you want, but I only really take out the one at the beginning of the game, and then just go fighter mode from then on. We're rocking up on this furball, and I want you guys to take note of the A6E tram that just died. Other than that, I flare away a missile, and now the T2 tries to pitch up for me. Though he'll never be able to catch me, as his speed bleed is so bad that I can just dive away, and there's a 0% chance I die. I pull away from the group, diving on this other A6E as he's going so slow. I go to take a head-on with this A10, and he's going like 300 miles an hour, at most. There's like no way I miss this. Except I have the NR-23, one of the lowest velocity guns in the game, and miss anyway. This F-80 doesn't even acknowledge my existence as he's shooting AIM-9Ds at this Su-25. I don't know how that didn't hit, but it gives me the opportunity to pull up behind him, as long as my teammate doesn't just let him shoot at him for free, and yeah, guess what happens. If I had just another second, I would have been able to get that shot in, which is kind of the average experience you have in this thing. Luckily though, he doesn't try and stick the dogfight, which gives me ample time to loop back over the top and drop down on top of these two people. Plus, I have a MiG-19, or technically the Chinese variant, on my team keeping them busy right now. Unfortunately though, he's gonna get AIM-9L'd in the face right about now. And then he just tanks it, like what a beast. This gives me time to drop down on top of this A6E, and it's even more of a brick than the A10 is, so I should be able to line up my shot this time. He even pulls in the direction I need him to. I spray a little bit here, and yeah, critical hit. Fortunately though, he ends up crashing like 3 minutes later in the match when I'm not even near him. I think I took out his rudder control, and he just sideswiped the ground at some point. One thing you are really good at hunting down is AV-8s and other types of Harriers, as long as they don't roll around so much you can't get your guns in. I almost bombed straight into this residential area, which would not have been preferable, but luckily I had just like an inch of clearance and was able to pull back up. I pretended to turn around, which baited the AV-8 back towards me, and yeah, yet another NR-23 crit. It's not a very good gun. Your juiciest and most prime targets, though, are the level 15 F5C Timmies who spent their mom's credit card money on their new shiny jet in War Thunder. These players mostly have thousands of pounds of bombs, like literally God's heaviest bomb load on the world's smallest F5C. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and sorry for the downtick in content lately, as I really haven't had much inspiration. Though I do have another vehicle lined up for the next video, so there should be one coming out sometime soonish. I don't know. Other than that, there's the Discord server. If you want to be part of a growing community of active War Thunder players, you can join that in the comments. Other than that, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.